Okay, you guys, so you heard about NFTs' impact on gaming, right? Well, now we're gonna kind of move the conversation to Ticketmaster. You know Ticketmaster, right? For all of the games you wanna go to, all of the concerts you wanna go to. So let's, Jodee, come on in here, and we've got Brendan Lynch, who is the Executive VP from Ticketmaster.
Thank you.
And we're all gonna kind of do this conversation together.
Yeah, excellent.
Right?
So just to remind you guys, maybe we'll put Brendan in the middle. One of our core values over the years has been, how do we get the broader community involved? And for me, a dream come true is to have a company like Ticketmaster, Live Nation and Ticketmaster involved. And Brendan has very courageously agreed to tell us all about the amazing things that a very significant enterprise, Live Nation, is actually doing with NFTs. So thank you. Shall we have a seat?
Thank you, Brendan. Well, let's begin, Brendan. I know that you said one of the most important things was to elevate an audience into a community, and that's what Ticketmaster plans to do. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This is an amazing event and experience. And you're absolutely right. So there's a couple of things that we're really leaning into at Ticketmaster, and elevating audiences into communities is really the frontier, right? It's what we see as the opportunity and the real value of bringing NFTs into the ticketing space. And so for us, when we see audiences very much like this audience today, we're all connected by a common experience. And that common experience and perspective is the thing that is the birth of communities. And we all have common views on the world, and that's where those conversations start. And so this is one where I don't know that we've really realized this yet, but those audiences are really tailor-made to start new communities going forward.
So this is an extension of social media, if you will.
It's absolutely an extension of a lot of the things on the internet. And for us, we actually come at it from the other way. We have events all the time, thousands of events. And we've actually already dropped a lot of NFTs on these events. And what we see is NFTs are allowing us to extend those events beyond just the actual time you're at that venue. And so whether it's anticipation before the event or remembering it afterwards, remembering the times you had with your friends, that's really exciting to us, and that's actually happening today.
That's great. So for some people who are in the room, some people are artists, and they're saying, okay, well, now I'm sort of getting the big picture. Now NFTs are expanding. I've created the art. Now how do I apply the art? And how do I make those sort of connections? So for you, you've had artists that have now created NFTs for you. Can you talk about the real life application? I remember you said, you go to an NFL game and all of a sudden you're getting an NFT. Can you walk us through in your partnerships with artists? Absolutely.
So for us, it all starts with that event. Ticketmaster, we really focus on getting fans into events and that experience. And so what we've built out already is the ability to have collectibles dropped at the time of attendance, the ability to sell those collectibles when you purchase a ticket, the ability to airdrop them once you already have either a ticket or an NFT. And so this is the beginnings of a platform where, that's actually out there today. And so far we've had millions of NFTs actually deployed across this platform. And the real interesting thing for me is not that we have that scale, which is absolutely there, but we've actually dropped those NFTs on people who don't know what NFTs are. And bringing them into this world and through that process is something that has to be really smooth and really easy to do. And it's really exciting to us that we're actually introducing millions of people to NFTs. And so some of the numbers that I saw David Pagman earlier talking about are exciting to me because when we look at millions of NFTs going to new fans, we can actually help grow those numbers. We've got 250 million tickets a year, and that's a huge audience that we can bring to NFTs generally. Wow. And then when we talk about individual teams, a lot in the NFL, and we've got dozens of teams that we're actually doing live NFT programs with now. Absolutely, all of them are looking for artists and programs and projects to interact with. And so if there's one there and there's a team, definitely connect with that team and that event. And we're really excited about ways that we can use these NFTs and unlock new projects and engagement. Because again, it is around taking that event and extending it much further afield.
Yeah, I think that's really important because, you know, Jodee, and you can even talk to this, even when you first started doing this NFT thing, you had a couple of hundred people. Now fast forward to 4 years and you've got 15,000 people who are attending. And I think that just speaks to how quickly this whole area has just grown.
Well, what you're doing, Brendan, is you're bringing scale to this space now. And people are able to actually get an NFT without a MetaMask wallet, aren't they? They can just sign up with a Ticketmaster account and get an NFT.
Absolutely. So super, super easy. For us at this level of scale, when you have millions of fans and millions of tickets and NFTs, those corner cases that always bug us in the technology world, those are where we live and breathe. And so understanding how every single one of those transactions is a really smooth fan experience and bringing them down the path. And there are some people that have received our collectibles in sports that don't know it's an NFT. And we actually see that as a huge win, right? If they're excited about engaging with it as an NFT and bringing it out into open markets, fantastic. If they're not and they just want to enjoy the collectible that they had, you know, that's fantastic as well. And so it's that ease of use is paramount.
When did you first discover NFTs? I mean, you're a big corporate executive. We 2-3 years ago, we would never have dreamt of having someone like you on stage. When did you discover NFTs?
For me, actually, it started several years back with the blockchain at Layer 1. We started thinking about, you know, how do we use the blockchain across our technology stack? And, you know, we've made acquisitions in the space, and we've incorporated that into our thinking. And so the last 2 to 3 years has been, you know, understanding how this applies to our technology. And then, you know, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago is when suddenly we realized that this is very easy to be able to extend into the NFT space. And we've got a ready-made audience for NFTs.
So we just had Jaehan Chu on stage, and Jaehan is a visionary and an investor and an artist. You're a business guy, and you're a marketer. What's next over the next 12 months? What will we be talking about this time next year?
That's a great question. And so as we think about each of our individual clients that are engaging with NFTs today, we've got a couple of things already underway, right? And that we've already delivered. And that's the platform itself that's getting us to scale. That's the ability to, you know, reward attendance smoothly for people who have never touched an NFT in the past.
So just to pause you on that, when you say at scale, so if I said next week I'm running an event and I want 1 million NFTs, could you do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, those fans have all.
I want 1 million NFTs.
Yeah.
Those fans have already purchased that ticket, so you've missed part of that engagement already, right? This is a life cycle. But that attendance component is really, really exciting. That is the moment of maximal emotion, right? As you walk in, as you have the anticipation for this event and others, that's a really awesome spot to engage with that fan and build a much deeper connection between your team, your league, or your show itself. And so what's exciting and what's, I think, really going to be coming next is, as you spoke about, using those NFTs to generate community. And so allowing the NFT holders to interact with each other in ways that we haven't so far, and then using those NFTs to unlock different pieces of value. Not crazy thoughts for a lot of this crowd, but for fans that have never used an NFT to unlock something else, that's going to be a whole nother layer of engagement and excitement. So really looking forward to that.
So it's the tribal part. I want to have an NFL NFT. It's being able to engage with other attendees in the future. And then the last part is about unlocking other things. What sort of other things could it unlock?
Yeah, well, as this crowd knows, we obviously have a lot of tickets. And so the concept that a lot of our clients are looking at is for individual NFT holders, how do we build those interactions and those integrations so that if you own an NFT, you can unlock access to tickets. You can unlock a ticket or a VIP ticket or access to a different part of the venue. Exactly.
Right.
The experience itself can be that much better when you've unlocked it with an NFT.
So we talked about it from a customer point of view. We talked about it from if you're an actual artist, but an NFT artist. But what if you are a player? Can you talk about, or you're a musician, and you say, you know what, I'm starting off in sort of my career, I'm just starting to break big. Like, who do they need to contact at a Ticketmaster, and what are you laying out of your vision for them?
Yep, most of our relationships are directly with the teams. And so the players themselves will go through their team reps and work with us. But those capabilities are absolutely enabled by the platform. And so we have had in the past certain teams, have player or retired player specific NFTs. And once those all work through, our platform is the same. And so as people come in, they have the ability to purchase those NFTs and use them just like they would any other.
As you're talking, I'm thinking about the infrastructure that you guys have at Ticketmaster and the touch points that you actually want to hit on.
Vast infrastructure. Vast.
Yeah, vast. Can you talk about how much it's just ramped up even in the last year? How many additional people have you put on, and who's really the visionary for all of these different venues?
Yep, it's a great question. So absolutely right. We view ticketing as one of these fan engagement platforms. And so as you think about going to an event far back, you're imagining it, you're searching the event, you're trying to learn more about it, and then you actually make that purchase of a ticket, really important for us, and the events themselves. And then you plan the event, you actually are headed to the event, you attend, et cetera, et cetera. Each one of those points, we are thinking through, how do you drop NFTs? How do you make them available for purchase? How do you actually unlock things with those NFTs? And so across this whole fan journey, we see growth in every one of those areas attached to NFTs. And so over the last year, well over 1.5 million NFTs in attendance NFTs alone. We've sold more at the on sale for an event, and then even more we've dropped completely separate from the whole event itself.
But I think back to Shada's question, I think you have at least a dozen people now who are thinking about and doing things with NFTs internally. You've got a whole team.
Yes, we have multiple teams actually working on NFTs, whether they're collectibles, whether they're deeper in our tech stack. And the excitement internally is palpable. We started talking about NFTs and opened up Slack channels, and suddenly hundreds of engineers were on there saying, hey, I'm already in the space. We have a lot of employees that are at this event that didn't know we would be here until we connected with them. So our whole organization is really excited about the opportunity and thinking through how you apply both blockchain and NFT technology in different areas.
Right. And which
That's really
blockchains
cool.
are you looking to do it on, out of curiosity?
We've actually already done it on multiple blockchains. So we've done a lot of Polygon, Solana, and Flow blockchains.
Okay.
But just coming back to what you were saying about all the people who were interested, I can remember in 2008, Sade, wandering around Madison Avenue explaining to executives why Twitter was going to be something. And then eventually they set up their whole teams to do social. I think what we're hearing from Brendan is, big companies like Live Nation are now setting up teams to do NFTs. I think we're just about to run out of time.
It's no longer the future, it's here.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. If you broke Twitter and now you're breaking Web3 and NFTs, it's absolutely going to be just as huge.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you very much,
Thank you,
Brendan.
Brendan.
Everyone, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brendan Lynch.